From looking at him go through the paces here, it appears that doing the difficult action shots are probably what he likes best about being an actor. Our next bit of mechanical wizardry turns the same basic setup into a pair of parallel bars. The uniquely designed metal bars fit together in a preordained manner, and with minor adjustments, we're ready to do push-ups. That is, Clint Walker is ready to do push-ups. You might count to see just how many this man can do consecutively. Well, at any rate, it's safe to say that Mr. Walker is in pretty fair shape. Anyone who cares to see just how easy this is can practice this trick by putting a couple of chairs together in the living room and have a go at it. Now it's time to do some sit-ups. But this time, instead of Clint assuming the working position, we're going to give our host, Hank Grant, a chance at it. Now, all there is to it is to lie back on the board with your feet somewhat elevated, and then raise your head and shoulders up to touch your knees. Guess Hank hasn't been practicing this particular type of exercise too much.
Well, that was an amazing demonstration, Clint. I got physically exhausted just watching you.
Well, you're not used to it, Brian.
How often do you work out like this?
Whenever I can, Hank. A lot of times I'm on the road, in which case I use the chairs that are in the hotel room or whatever I can. The whole idea is I feel better when I work out.
Would you say a couple hours a day here at home is too much for you?
Every day, yes, it would be. You can, you can overdo anything. And it's not a case of trying to become a champion weightlifter, anything like that. It's simply to keep in shape. That's all it amounts to.
And yet you have enough barbells and equipment here to train the Olympics team.
Well, it saves me time because time is very important, and I have very little of it. Instead of running down to a gym, I can work out right here at home, where otherwise I might not find the time. That's the whole idea.
Now, what is this setup here that you just put on here?
This is what is called a concentration curl rack. Ordinarily, curls, you know, is where you take a barbell or dumbbell and do this type of thing.
Yeah.
But you cheat as a rule. You use a lot of back and so on. This enables you to concentrate on the curl. I'll show you what I mean.
How much weight do you have there?
This is 130 pounds.
Oh. If you get tired, just throw it at me. I'll catch it.
Next in our series of exercises, we utilize the bench again, but this time it's engineered so as to turn it into a sitting area with a slanted back. With the aid of some 35-pound weights, Clint gives the biceps a workout. Not that they need it, mind you, but so as not to give preference to any particular part of the anatomy, you see. It's interesting to note that when Clint does these exercises, he rarely seems to be putting too much effort into it, or even shows signs of strain or fatigue. This large dummy punching bag is another of the tricks Mr. Walker has in his fold-away gym. And Hank looks like he can swing a good left. In addition to the rest, a fully equipped gymnasium must have a chinning bar. In this case, the bar is up pretty high. And to give you a good idea of just how rangy our star is, get a load of the way he grabs hold of this piece of equipment and the way he uses it. Well, I would say that our star gives all the symptoms of being well qualified for his role as an action star in motion pictures and television.
Well, to put it mildly, Clint, I would say you passed your physical.
Well, we had a little workout anyhow.
Yeah, I think it bears repeating what you said previously about doing all this purely for the sake of keeping in shape rather than trying out for competition in the Olympics.
That's right. I'm not a bodybuilder as such. I have no desire to enter any contest or that sort of thing. And, of course, I'm not in that kind of shape. But I believe the body's a thing that has to be used to keep it in shape. And I know I feel a lot better when I work out. And, of course, being in the business I'm in, I'm selling appearance as well as his acting ability and other things. So I have to work at it. It's part of the game.
What about the food situation? Does that have much to do
It has a lot to do with it, Hank. Working out is not enough. You've got to provide sufficient raw material with which the body rebuilds itself in the form of good food, and then you've got to have a sufficient amount of sleep to give the body time to do the rebuilding, and all these things go hand in hand. They're all very important.
Well, it's certainly been a revelation for me to see someone like you working out just for the fun of it and also for the health of it rather than having any
Come over anytime,
idea.
Hank.
I need it. I sure do. Clint, I want to thank you very much for giving Guest Shot the exclusive opportunity for the first showing of this elaborate gym setup you have here. It was very, very impressive, and I don't know when we've enjoyed ourselves so very, very much.